Hello and welcome to Dreams. How are you doing? We will just be starting in a second, as soon as I remember to turn my controller back on. There we go. And we're transitioning. Yeah. Here we go. So, this is the first time I've actually played this game. I don't know if you can call it a game. Media Molecule? Molecule? Okay, let's have a look, see what it says. Welcome intrepid to creators. Before you get your hands on the Creator Early Access, we would like to remind you of the following. This is early access software. This means it's not finished product, and it may not work perfectly. It may also differ from the final version of Dreams. During Creator Early Access, we may modify the software without notice, and I missed it. Damn it. Dreams live on the web. Search the amazing creations released on Dreams. New Dreams to follow. Blah 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 blah. Do you want to allow your user profile and creations to be public to the web? Yes. Continue. We believe in giving credit where credit is due, but we need your explicit permission to do so. Yes, that's fine.
Actually going out.
Okay then. Hello.
Yes! That's good.
1, 2, 3.
Hello. Made in Dreams, early access.
In the beginning, nothing.
No, not nothing.
No movement, no sound, complete emptiness. Then, something. A speck, an idea. The idea could be anything. It could be everything.
Okay.
Light. Color.
Okay, well, it's pretty anyway.
Shapes. Sounds. And most exciting of all, life.
Always been it.
Everyone can conduct this power. Everyone has an imp. Imps are the key to the power of the Dreamiverse. The Dreamiverse teems with their energy, waiting for you to choose your very own. Which one is yours?
Right, well, I think we've got to go for the red one, don't we?
Yes! That one belongs to you.
It's mine. Oh, okay. Control the...
Now to see what your imp can do. Press and hold the Options button, and your imp will snap to the center of the screen. Yes! Great!
Okay.
Your imp responds to the smallest movements of your wireless controller. That's because it's attached to the controller's motion sensor. You only need to move the controller a teeny tiny amount to get your imp to respond. Go on, move your imp around a bit. Think of the light bar on the front of the controller as a flashlight beam conducting your imp. You see that little cluster of creativity?
Okay.
Move the pointy part of your imp to touch it.
Pop. Pop.
That's it. Now, Collect those two clusters at the top and bottom. See how that feels. Yes, magnificent. You can also nudge the imp against the edge of the screen to recalibrate it. Anytime your imp gets unruly, press and hold the options button to recenter it.
Oh, I see.
Now, let's play with the Dreamiverse. See if you can catch all those dancing shapes. Unleash those colours and sounds. Very good. You're a natural. Wow, it's a symphony. See how your imp can affect everything it touches. Wandering, soaring, leaping. Playing through the wilds of your imagination. You're amazing. You're wonderful. You're a dream surfer. You're...
Whoops.
Oh no. You found the wall of doubt. Don't worry, everyone doubts themselves in the beginning. See that loose break? Try using the pointy tip of your imp to grab hold of it.
R2 to grab it.
That's it. Pull that wall down. Look at that brick. Who does it think it is? Get rid of it.
We showed that wall. See if we can grab that.
Your idea's getting away. Chase it down.
Aha! Okay. So grab that and turn it around. Looks like a jack in the box. Ah, right, we got it. Okay. There we go. It is a jack in the box, but without the jack.
It should be in here somewhere. Oh, more barriers. Cast them aside.
Aha! I don't know. It was a slide, not a pull. Go some. There we go. We're doing this now. Got the hang of this.
There it is. Come on, keep up.
We're chasing it.
Dark. The only source of energy is you. What can you do?
Oh, it's a light bulb. Oh, I'm in a light bulb.
1,
2,
3.
dream.
We have light. A good start. If only we had a way of exploring this place.
Okay. Possess. Oh, there's a bell there.
Now we're really getting somewhere.
Oh. Okay. And now it's a platform.
There must be some way to get up there. Great work. We're so close.
Okay, cool.
Look at that seedling.
It's a bud of
The
inspiration.
Dreamiverse loves to help things grow.
Okay, I'm a little bit wrong with the aiming.
That's it. Amazing what a little nurturing can do. Almost there. vast, vibrant, sublime universe of possibilities. Let's start dreaming. Ah, this is your very own home space. You'll always start dreaming from here. As you can see, my little cone friend is happy to help you wander around.
Okay. So if I possess
Press
it again-
R2 to possess it.
Okay, possessed.
You got a prize bubble. Well done.
Ooh.
There's a lot more around. They've got all sorts of useful goodies in them. See if you can find a few.
It's like Little Big Planet because it's made by the same people. Media Molecule made it, and they are the creators of Little Big Planet. Although he jumps a lot nicer than the Sackboy ever did. Sackboy is kind of a bit too floaty. He's a bit more on point, I say.
Excellent finds. Now for the entrance to the Dreamiverse.
Okay.
Press the circle button to get your imp back.
I haven't finished collecting things yet. I think there's probably as many collectibles as I can pick up at the moment. I suspect I can get those later. I don't think I can get them right now. I don't seem to be able to jump far enough. Why not? Okay, so we can get that one. Bom, 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 bom. Oh.
Use the tip of your imp to click on that little ball of energy. So much to see. Decisions, decisions. Choose dream surfing to experience other dreamers' creations, or pop into dream shaping to make something of your own.
Guess that's my profile. And that's the home space editor.
Ah, the home space editor. A great place to start your creative journey. We're still working on this right now. In time, you'll be able to put things you've made here so it feels like your own.
Photo mode, reset home space, obey auto guides, help.
Look at all the wonderful things you found. There's lots more where these came from. And look at the things the folks at Media Molecule left for you in MM stuff.
Oh, MM characters, MM contraptions, and MM sculptures. Okay, that's nice. So, I wonder if that means I can pull something out, like steps.
Ooh, that looks
Yeah.
fancy. Where's nice for it to go?
Let's get that over there. Okay, let's see if we can jump into the nope, it's a bit too high up still. Oh no, I did it. Look at that. Light bulb. Okay, let's see where we're going to go now. I'm gonna go over here. Oh yeah, that was the last thing I think in there. Let's go to the main menu. What's this over here? Notifications. Following. Okay, and then we go my preferences, visual feedback, graphics mode, prompts, on blah 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 blah. Okay, cool. Of course I have those. Dream surfing, dream shaping. Community something or other.
Need a little inspiration? When we need new ideas for the Dreamiverse, we have a jam. We thought you might like to do that too. Every so often, we set a topic we're curious about, and anyone can make and submit a dream on that topic. Or you can just play through the current entries and see which ones you like. When time is up, we'll feature the dreams the community loved the most. Go on, give it a try.
Okay, so that's like an inspiration thing. Season scenes. Okay. Dream surfing.
Dream surfing. Here we can explore the wilds of the Dreamiverse, slipping and sliding through the strangest and most wonderful ideas and creations. Lose yourself in the kaleidoscope of games, animations, music videos, and all sorts of worlds and experiences made by dreamers just like you. Dream surfing is a never-ending, ever-changing stream of dreamers' imaginations. Let's try it out.
Shall we try a couple? Collection. Let's try some of these ones. MM Arcade, MM Showcases. Let's go Arcade. Cone Ball? Beaver Hammer Pack? I don't know. Let's do this one. Play. Please hug me. Okay. Come here. Give me a hug. Oh dear, no way. Thumbs up. Oh, Ink Quest. Sweet. Continue. Okay, cool. Let's go and back to the main menu. So I've done that one, I've done that one, I've done that one. So dream shaping is the only one left then.
This is dream shaping. Here you have the power to manifest anything you can imagine. Anything. Music, a story, a piece of art, a whole game, even something there isn't a word for yet. Create things from scratch using the dream tools. Or you can use them to remix something another dreamer has made. For now, I'll take you to the Dreams Workshop, where my friend, the Dreams Architect, will introduce you to the secrets of creation. Go on in. He won't bite. Promise.
Okay. Tutorials, masterclasses, and techniques. Let's try that, shall we?
So you want to learn the ropes of dream shaping, but you don't know where the tools are on the shelf, or how to use that intriguing gadget, or you want to know what that strange contraption over there does.
Yep.
Architect, assist us. Ah, hello, Architect.
Hello, Queenie.
Squirrel.
Why am I a squirrel?
Just a temporary physical form for you. I like it. It's cute.
Well, thank you. It's better than the last one.
Now, show this dream shaper how to unleash their creative powers.
Done! Follow me, Dreamer. Oh, it's so exciting that you're here. I have been really looking forward to this. There is so much to show you. Gameplay, animation, art. There's no limit to what's possible.
Okay, cool.
This is the Dreams Workshop. Which controller do you have?
What controller do I have? That one, I think. Start Dreaming Part 1 of 4. Are you new to dream shaping? Try the Start Dreaming tutorials are the entry point to creating. Here you'll get to know the basics of edit mode, navigate the scenes, and the assembly tools. Tools.
I hope you've got your imp under control. I've got some spectacular tricks to show you, and some that are just all right. Make sure you follow the steps carefully if you want to get the most out of this tutorial.
Okay.
It's not just about getting to the end, it's the journey that counts. Shortly, you'll be in edit mode, creating and editing your own scenes. First, I'm going to show you how to move around a scene.
Okay.
Welcome to edit mode. You can see that we're in edit mode because the assembly mode icon is in the top left of the screen.
Oh,
If you
right.
ever need to remind yourself of the controls, select that icon with the X button. And select it again to hide the controls. You can also see the assembly menu at the top of the screen.
Yep.
That's where you'll find all the tools and modes you need to construct your scenes. The assembly menu is opened and closed by pressing the square button. You won't need it just yet, so go ahead and close it with square.
Okay, cool.
First, I'm going to show you how to move around in edit mode, as it's a bit different from play mode. To give you something to do, I've hidden a puppet somewhere in this scene, which we'll need in later tutorials. I've left some clues to help you find it. Before we search for the first clue, let's start by looking around.
I think I might
In
have
front
found
of
it.
you,
Oh,
you can
found
see a
it.
floating island with some shapes on it. If you move the right stick to the left and right, you can look around the scene. Is there an orange cone around here?
Yep.
You found it. There's a blue cube around here somewhere too.
Oh, there it is.
See if you can find that. Now try looking up with the right stick to find the pink pyramid. That's the one. Okay, let's turn back towards the shapes floating on the island. My first clue is hidden somewhere on this island. Move around the island using the left stick. Push it left and right to move sideways, and up and down to move forwards and backwards. Remember, left stick to move, right stick to look around. Easy!
Yep.
If your imp ever feels off center, hold the options button to recenter it. Can you find anything here that looks like a clue? Once you've found the clue, you're ready to move on to the next step. If you want to re-watch this step, you can. Hover your imp over the buttons on the video to see what they do. Use the skip buttons to move between tutorial steps. Or just rewind 10 seconds if you miss something. If the video gets in your way, grab and move it with your imp using R2. You can minimize the video and play along with audio only. Or you can maximize it to watch in instructions view if you prefer. In instructions view, you can see more information about the steps. Once the current step is finished, press the arrow button to move on to the next one.
Okay, I need to play next step.
Did you find that clue?
Yep.
It was on the back of one of those shapes. Looks a bit like a rocket. I do love a cryptic message.
It's over here, isn't it?
Why don't you look around with the right stick for any rocket-related goings-on? Ah, look over there. On that island in the distance. Those shapes look a lot like the ones in the clue. Go on, fly over there and check it out. Remember, push up on the left stick to move forward and use the right stick to change direction. And don't forget, you can recalibrate your imp by holding the options button.
Cool.
Once you reach the island, make sure you're looking right at the cylinder and the cone. When you're ready, move on to the next step.
Okay, moved on to the
Think
next.
back to the first clue. The cone was on top of the cylinder, right? But how can you move them? Well, in edit mode, you interact with everything using your imp, the very tip of your imp's pointy part. See how there's an icon in a circle there?
Yep.
That shows you what tool the imp is using. Right now, it's the arrows icon, which means the imp is using the move tool. That's the default tool in edit mode, because editing a scene means moving things around a lot. Let's see the imp in action. First, grab the cone. Hover over it with your imp and hold R2. Now your imp has the cone, use the controller's motion sensor function to move it around. Try to put it on top of the cylinder, just like in the clue. Use the left stick to move the cone backwards and forwards. Objects in scenes can intersect and overlap, so it doesn't have to be perfect. Get it roughly into place, and I'll show you how to refine it later. Once you're done, you're ready for the next step.
About there, I think. I might actually, that might be actually worse than it was before, just thinking on it. Yeah, that'll do. What am I doing? Okay, so I need to move that over there. And then press X.
Now, that looks pretty good, at least from this angle. Creating scenes in three-dimensional space means that you should always look at your creations from different angles. The easiest way to do that is with the grab cam. Instead of moving the objects you grab cam moves your point of view around them. Try it out on the cone. Hover over it, then press and hold R1.
Oh, I see.
Pushing the left and right sticks moves your point of view around the cone. Easy.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Now that you can get a proper look at it, check that the cone is on straight. Unlike mine. Let go of R1 to stop using the grab cam. And use R2 to make any adjustments you need. Here's a little
Not quite happy with
secret called nudge. If you don't press R2 all the way down, but just hold it lightly, you can move the cone slowly, giving you finer control. Once you're happy the cone is straight, you can move on to the next step.
Okay, so move. If I do that, that'll do. That'll do. That'll do.
Hey, look at that.
Okay.
Another clue. It's a molecule. I know because I put it there. Just play along with me. Why don't you
Okay.
look around with the right stick and see if you can find another molecule? There's one, over there by that island. You're hot on the trail.
Oh yeah, there it is.
It'll take forever to get there using the left stick. Luckily you can use the grab cam to get there faster. Give it a try now.
Oh yeah.
Hover your imp over that orange cube in the distance. Hold R1 to grab it with the grab cam. Then gently push up on the left stick to zoom right over.
That worked.
Just keep holding R1 until you've made it all the way to the island. See? Told you it was quicker.
No need to be
But
a
there's
smart
an even
ass.
faster way to zip around scenes. It's just like the grab cam, but you'll also need to hold L1. You see, L1 is a very special button. You know the way that on a computer keyboard, holding down Shift changes what some keys do? Well, in Dreams, holding down L1 changes what the other buttons do.
Okay.
Maybe it's best if I show you. You see that rocket you built earlier? Hover your imp over it. Now hold L1 and then press R1, the grab cam button. You don't have to hold it or use the stick this time. Whoa! Fast, huh? Try it out again on the return journey.
Okay.
Hover your imp over the orange cube and hold L1. Then
Yep, that
press
won't bring me.
R1 to zoom right on over.
Try it again.
Now that you know how to move around quickly, see if you can find the next clue somewhere on this island. Remember to use the grab cam to look around the whole island. Once you've found the clue, you can move on.
Just the bin.
Did you find the last clue?
Yep.
It was on the back of the orange cube. What on earth could it mean? If I had eyes, I would wink at you right now. I can't see any other green trash cans around. Unless, of course, the trash can is the icon for the delete tool. I'm so devious. That must mean you need to delete the orange cube. You can delete anything in edit mode using the triangle button. Just hover your imp over the
Okay.
cube, then press triangle. And it's gone.
Yep.
These tools are powerful. Delete the orange sphere next. If you change your mind or delete the wrong thing, you can press undo, which is the left directional button. And if you want to redo, just press the right directional button. You can undo and redo pretty much anything, not just deletions. Oh look, there was a clue hidden in the cube.
Up.
An arrow. Perhaps there's another one like it nearby. Look around with the right stick and see if you can spot it. Once you've found it, you can move on to the next step.
Ah, yeah, look, there we go. So we move on to the next step.
That was my final clue telling you where to go. The island right above us. I know you're an expert in moving around with the left and right stick now, but I've got one more technique to show you. Remember that holding L1 changes what the grab cam does. It can also change what the left stick does. Normally it moves you backwards and forwards in the direction you're facing. But if you hold L1 at the same time, the left stick will make you move up and down instead.
Okay, good. That's not good to know.
Try getting up to the last island that way. Position yourself so you're looking at the orange arrow which is pointing up. Now hold L1 and push up on the left stick.
Done.
We have liftoff. Keep pushing the left stick until you reach the island. When you're ready, move on to the next step. Right, here's the puppet I reserved for you. Let's call her Connie, 'cause she looks like a cone. We need to help Connie walk through the door to complete this tutorial. To do that, we're gonna have to switch over to play mode. Remember, right now you're in edit mode. This is where you create and edit your scenes. In play mode, you can experience the scene just like a player would if they found it in the Dreamiverse. You can't make any changes in play mode, but you can take control of characters and try out what you've made. Switch over to play mode now. Just press the options button on your controller. Hover over the controller icon with your imp, then press X to select it. To control a puppet in a scene, you first need to possess it with R2. Try that now.
I'm in control.
She's full of beans, isn't she? I picked her just for you. Walk her around a bit, then take her through the door to finish this tutorial. Oh, looks like the door's too high. There's more to Connie than meets the eye, though. She might be able to reach it if you make her jump by pressing X. Oops. I remember now. I always forget to put the steps in. Better head back into edit mode. To switch back to edit mode, just press options again, then select the pencil icon. Did you see those stairs on the island below us? Those might come in handy now, so strafe down to them with L1 and the left stick.
Let's go back to edit mode.
If you've deleted the stairs, you can use undo by pressing the left directional button. Just keep pressing it until the stairs come back. Okay, press and hold R2 to grab them. Now without letting go, hold L1 and use the left stick to strafe back up to Connie. Place the stairs in front of the door and let go of R2. There, that should do it. It's back to play mode now. Remember, press options, then select the controller icon with X.
Okay, we're doing
You'll be
good.
switching back and forth between edit and play mode a lot when you're creating your own scenes. It's a great way to test out your scenes, making sure they look and work just how you want them to. Okay, I think we can get Connie to the next lesson now. All we need to do is walk her through the door. Possess Connie with R2, then climb up the stairs.
Oh yeah.
Once you walk through the door, you'll unlock a variety of new...
Done. You can return to this tutorial at any time and continue to walk play area. Continue. Tutorial finished. Part 1. Well done, you completed this tutorial, you'll be able to return to the parade, play any other steps whenever you feel like. Imp quest complete, start dreaming.
Want to carry on with the fundamentals? You can also press the circle button to see other topics.
Let's just do the beginning start, shall we?
Now you've got the hang of moving things around in edit mode, it's time to master manipulating objects. Just as well, because Connie's friend Cuthbert fell asleep in the Dreamiverse and got stranded. Yes, he's a cube with legs. Connie didn't choose her friends. I did. So, we need to fix these platforms if she's going to reach the flag and get to Cuthbert. Before we start, you can switch to play mode to see how a player would experience this scene. You'll always need to test things out in play mode while dream shaping, so it's a good habit to get into. Press the options button, then select play mode with X. Its icon looks like a controller. Once you're in play mode, take control of Connie with R2, and we'll see how far she can go. Start by jumping over to the first platform. Oh dear. Looks like it's too far for Connie. Move that first platform closer.
Oops.
To do that,
Have to go back into
head back into edit mode. So, open the options menu and select the button with the pencil icon.
Scroll down a bit.
Once you're in edit mode, move on to the next step.
Then do we move? Yeah, let's move that one down a bit. Okay, that will do. I need to get the imp over to here. Let's give it to the next one.
We have to do something about these platforms if Connie's gonna reach the other side.
Yep.
First, let's get a good look at them. Move your view side on to Connie and the first pink platform. Don't forget, you can hold L1 while using the left stick to strafe up and down. See the dotted outlines? That's where the platforms should be. So let's put them in place with the move tool. The imp has this equipped by default. To move things, hover the tip of your imp over them and press and hold R2. Move it where you want it and release R2. Try it now with the first movable platform. Grab it with R2, slide it over so it lines up with the pink outlines, and release R2. You can get a slower, more precise movement if you hold R2 softly. Use the left stick to move the platform backwards, forwards, left and right. And if you need to try again, just undo your action by pressing the left directional button.
That should do the trick.
You may have noticed that objects move more freely here in edit mode than in the home space. That's because their auto-guide gadgets are disabled by default in the guides menu. I'll explain more about this in another tutorial, but for now, you don't need to worry about it. It just means you have more freedom to dream shape.
I wonder what that It
When the
was.
platform is in the right spot, you're ready for the next step.
I thought that was it. Right, anyway, I think he's in the right position.
Now that the first platform's in position, let's test it out.
Okay, so we'll go into play mode. Into play mode.
Open the options menu and select play mode with X. Connie's on the starting platform,
Yeah.
ready for another try. Take control of her with R2 and see if she can jump over the gap now.
She can.
Hope she made it this time. If not, you can always go back and edit things again.
Now she's having
In
to do the
fact,
second one.
let's try doing that now and see what happens. Select edit mode from the options menu.
Edit mode, there we go.
Look at that. Connie isn't in her starting place anymore. That's because time passes when you're in play mode. And the scene doesn't rewind automatically when you return to edit mode. Instead, things will be frozen in the state you left them when you were playing. Always keep this in mind when switching modes.
Okay, that's good to know.
But you can easily rewind things. Just press L3 by clicking in the left stick on your controller.
Oh.
Now time's rewound back to the beginning. Doing this won't reset any changes you made in edit mode. See? Connie is back to her starting position,
That makes
but the
sense.
platform remains where you left it.
Yes.
Try to get into the habit of rewinding time after you play scenes. That way, you'll avoid any problems. There are times when it's useful to leave things as they are after playing, but when in doubt, rewind.
Rewind.
Okay, if your platform's in the right place and you've had a successful test run with Connie, you can move on to the next step. Let's sort out the next platform now. It's the middle one that's lying on its side.
Yes, I see this.
Before you can match it up with the outline, you'll need to stand it upright. So you'll have to rotate it first. You can rotate objects in edit mode by grabbing them with L2. That's right, we won't be using R2 this time. When you grab things with L2, you can rotate them in place, instead of moving them around the scene. Give it a go now. Hover over the fallen platform, then press and hold L2. Now you can rotate it by tilting your controller. This is a great way of making smaller adjustments.
Okay, that makes sense.
You can also rotate it fully by using the left and right sticks while holding L2.
Oh.
The platform will rotate in different directions depending on how you push the sticks. The motion sensor function is disabled when you do this, so you don't have to worry about tilting your controller. If you want to reactivate the motion sensor function, just let go of the shape and grab it again with L2. Bear in mind that your IMP's tip is at the center point of the rotation. So you can grab the platform at different points and see how it affects the rotation. All that rotating has made the platform a bit wonky. So let's undo all that with the left directional button and start again. Grab and hold L2 over the platform and try to rotate it into a vertical position.
I get the idea.
Once you have it more or less upright, you can let go of L2. This time, grab the platform with R2 so you can move it into the matching blue outline.
There we go.
Remember, holding R2 more softly will let you move the platform with more precision. And if you're feeling really adventurous, you can try rotating it with the touchpad too. That's quite a lot of buttons to remember, isn't
There
it?
we go. That's all.
Well, if you ever forget what to press, just look at the prompts around your IMP. or select the mode icon in the
saw
top
it.
left of the screen with X. They'll show you what buttons you can use in any situation. Practice rotating things with L2 until you're comfortable. Then move on to the next step.
Oh yeah.
Now that you know how to rotate objects, here's a useful tip. When you rotate something by hand, like this platform, it might end up a little wonky. But there's a really simple way of fixing that. You can realign objects by grabbing them with L2 or R2 and then pressing triangle. This will snap whatever shape you're grabbing to the nearest right angle. Make sure you're grabbing an object before you press triangle though, or you might end up deleting it. If you do delete something by accident, remember you can undo your mistake by pressing the left directional button. Once you're happy with the position and alignment of the middle platform,
Switch over to play.
you should switch over to play mode and test it out.
Jumpy, jumpy, jumpy.
So, select the controller icon in the options menu and possess Connie to see how far she can get.
Spinny, spinny. Oh, I nearly fell off the phone.
You're almost there now. Just switch back to edit mode and fix that final platform.
Yep.
Remember to rewind time with L3. Now we can go on to the next step.
Click on there. L3 to rewind back time. Wrong button. Next.
Now the only
video.
thing separating Connie from Cuthbert is the final platform. Oh, it looks a bit small compared to the others. I'm not sure Connie will be able to use it, no matter how much you rotate it. Let's learn how to make objects bigger, or as we dream shapers say, scale them up. Scale
Let's do
objects up or down by using the up and down directional buttons. Hover over the final platform now, and hold the up directional button to make it bigger. The square on the floor tells you what size the platform's base needs to be. It's also a good idea to get the top of the platform level with all the others. Remember how the imp was the center point of a rotation earlier? Well, here its position determines where the object scales from. Try hovering over the platform in different places and see how that affects the scaling.
Okay. So
And if it
that's
gets
done
too
that.
tall, you can just hold the down directional button to shrink it.
Well, that should do the trick. It's probably the best of the three I've done, actually.
Now that you know how to move, rotate and scale things, you should be able to get the final platform into its matching frame at the right height.
Just do that, yeah.
Okay, when everything is where it should be, go into play mode and see if Connie can reach the flag.
Play mode.
Once Connie reaches the flag, head into edit mode again and go to the next step.
Okay. Edit mode once again. And play.
Hurrah! Connie and Cuthbert have been reunited. But now they need to find a way out before Cuthbert falls asleep again.
Yes.
So let's learn how to find a door in the Dreamiverse. Go to the Assembly menu, which is the row of buttons at the top of the screen.
Okay.
The Assembly menu disappears when you're busy working on a scene, to make sure it doesn't get in the way. So if you can't see it, just press square to open it. Here you'll find all the assembly tools, modes, and gadgets. If you ever wonder what a button does, just hover over it for a few seconds to see more info. This menu is also where the search button lives. It's the one with the magnifying glass.
Yep. There we go.
Select it now with X. The search button takes you to the Dreamiverse, where you'll find all the things created by dreamers from around the world. But for this tutorial, I've selected a collection of elements that you can use in this scene. Let's see if we can find a door in the Start Dreaming collection. Select it with X. Have a look around. What elements do we have here in the collection? Ah, there it is. A door. Select it with X now. Now that it's on your imp, you can scale it with the up and down directional buttons, or rotate it with L2, or the touchpad. See the outline at the top of the final platform? That's where the door needs to go. Use R2 or X to stamp it into place. You should know this isn't just any door, it's a very special one. Because of the animation and logic built into it, it will magically open when Connie goes near it. Notice how your imp still has a door attached even after you've stamped it down? That's what happens with elements from the Dreamiverse. That way, you can place as many as you need in a scene. We only need one door in this scene though, so you can remove the door element from your imp by pressing circle. The circle button removes whatever tool, gadget or element your imp has equipped, replacing it with the move tool.
So a thick door.
Okay, I think we're done here. Nice work completing the scene. It doesn't mean you have to stop though. If you're feeling creative, why not come up with different ways for Connie to get across the platforms, using more elements from the collection? Just delete the old platforms with triangle and build your own. Remember to test your creations in play mode to make sure they work, and rewind time when you return to edit mode. All that's left now is to switch to play mode and walk Connie straight through the door to end this tutorial.
Oh yeah. We have won. Saving tutorial progress. You can return to this tutorial at any time. It's 2 out of 4. Number 3. Want to create objects and platforms a little quicker? Master the fundamental art of cloning objects. Here you'll learn how to clone objects. Flip them around and have some fun with repeat cloning.
Now you know how to grab, rotate and
Here's a
scale
like
objects.
cloning.
It's time I showed you how to clone things. Cuthbert has managed to get himself stuck again.
My god.
Luckily, I've set up this scene so that we can use the clone tool to rescue him. With this tool, you can make exact copies of anything in the scene. This makes it one of the most useful tools in a Dreamshaper's toolbox.
Cool.
You'll also get a chance to practice with all the other tools that you've learned so far. If we get Connie off this platform, maybe she'll help us out. Let's use the clone tool on this one small block to create a bridge.
Okay.
Remember how we used the L1 button to modify how the grab cam and the left stick work?
Yeah.
Well, it can also change how the grab button works. Hover over the floating block with your imp and hold L1. Now grab the block with R2, and remember that if you press it gently, you can move it more slowly. Now you have another block. That's because grabbing things while holding L1 creates a clone of that object. Once you've created the clone, you can release L1, but don't let go of R2 until you're ready to place it in the scene. When you've found the right spot, release R2 to put it down. You can treat a cloned object just like you would any other element. You can move it with R2 and rotate it with L2. and scale it up and down with the directional buttons. Of course, anything you do to the block can be undone with the left directional button. You can even clone the cloned block. Let's do that next. Hover over it, hold L1, then press and hold R2. You can use the clone tool to build a bridge between the first two platforms. Or you can create floating blocks for Connie to jump on. All that matters is that she can get to the next platform, so make sure you test your work in play mode. When Connie can get across, go back to edit mode, rewind time with L3, and move on to the next step.
That'll do. Check that out. Yep, that worked fine. So back to play mode, edit mode, click on that.
Getting Connie to that third platform looks easy enough. There's half a bridge between them, so we can just clone this block to finish it off.
Oh yes, of course we can.
Okay, hold L1 and grab the block with R2 to clone it. Let go of L1 to stop cloning, then place the clone by releasing R2 to complete the bridge. That doesn't look quite right. Might need to try something different here. Why don't we rotate the clone? Hold L2 over it, then push the right stick sideways. Well, it's better, but now they don't match. We should probably undo everything with the left directional button and start again. This time, we'll make the arches match up by flipping the clone. Here's how you flip objects.
Okay.
First, hover over the arch and hold L1. Then gently grab the arch with R2 to create a clone. Remember, release L1 once you've made the clone. You have to release it or the next part won't work. Here comes the cool bit. While still holding the arch, click the L3 button on your controller to flip the arch horizontally. That's all there is to it. Now you try. Hold L1 and grab the arch with R2 to clone it. Release L1 and flip the arch horizontally by clicking L3. And don't forget, you can realign the clone while you're holding it by pressing the triangle button. Now, let's see what happens if you click R3. Nice! The arch is flipped vertically instead. We should probably line it up with the first arch now, and release R2 to place it down. We probably should have flipped it back first. No problem. Just grab it with R2 and flip it again with R3. Time to switch over to play mode and see how things are working.
Yep, I agree. We'll go over to play mode.
If Connie can get across the bridge to the third platform, you're ready to move on. But first return to edit mode and rewind time.
Edit mode. Rewind time. Skip to next video.
Okay, Connie, we've almost made it to the door. But she needs to go across and up now. Good thing you already know how to make clones because we're gonna need them.
Okay.
So
Steps.
hold L1 and grab the block with R2 to clone it. Now place that clone a little higher than the original. And you know what? There's a better way, so let's undo that with the left directional button.
Okay.
We're going to try a new technique called repeat cloning. I bet you can already guess what it does. That's right, it lets you make lots of clones at once. Let's give it a go.
Okay.
Hover over the block again, hold L1 and press and hold R2. Release L1 once you've made the clone, and move the block up and along. Don't put it down yet though. This is where you become a cloning expert. Without letting go of the first clone, press the right directional button to create a second one. And, you guessed it, another press will create a third one. In fact, you can just keep pressing right to create more and more clones in a sequence. And if you make too many, no problem. Just press the left directional button to remove any clones you don't want.
Oops.
As you can see, all the clones are spaced evenly, and you can move the whole sequence by simply moving the clone that's on your imp. If you move the clone up, you can create a staircase. As always, put it down by releasing R2. Once the clones are in place, they won't be in a sequence anymore. You'll have to edit each block individually. See the dotted line around them? That's a selection. When you put repeat clones down, they're always selected automatically. That means you can move them as a group. If you only want to move one block, you can deselect the group by pressing circle. If you want to find out more, there's a whole tutorial on selecting and grouping objects. Move on to the next step when you're ready.
Why does it keep doing that for? So L1, R2, square that. L1, R2, L1, R2, release L1, add clones. Oh dear God. What have I done? Oh no. This has not gone well. Centralized. Right. L1, R2, L1, R2, let go of L1, add clones. For some reason it does that every single time and I don't know why. Well, that seems to work.
Let's get back to the staircase. It's looking pretty good, but I have one more thing to show you before you move on. Let's get rid of all the clones we've made by pressing the left directional button a few times. You'll notice all the repeated clones are undone together.
Okay.
Now hover over the first block, hold L1, then grab it to create a new clone. Remember to release L1 once you've made the clone, otherwise the next bit won't work. This time, move the block where you want the last step of the staircase to be. There, right in front of the door. Don't let go of R2 yet, though. Instead, press the left directional button and... look at that. You've created a sequence of clones between your imp and the original block.
Oh, okay.
You can keep pressing left to create more steps or right to remove them.
Oh.
Once you're happy with your
so much better.
staircase, let go of R2 to place it in the scene. You can create incredible shapes with repeat cloning, so feel free to experiment. How you position the first clone will affect all the repeated clones. Rotating the clones, for example, will let you build ramps and spirals. And if you scale the clone with the up button, you can create a sequence that increases in size. So try different approaches and see what you can come up with. If the path is clear for Connie, switch
Switch to play mode.
over to play mode to test the scene.
Okay.
Get Connie to the final platform, then get her to open the door for Cuthbert.
Come on then, Carl.
If you feel like you've mastered cloning and flipping, walk Connie through the door to complete the tutorial. Good work.
Dun dun dun. Beginning, start dreaming, part 3 of 4. Completed. Start dreaming, part 4. Scenes with lots of ambition often need an easy way of organisation. Scenes with a lot of ambition often need an easy way of organising and manipulating multiple objects at once. This final core tutorial is about selecting multiple objects, creating groups from selections, and how to scope in and out of groups. Okay.
Welcome to part 4 of our Start Dreaming tutorials. Ah, I see Cuthbert has managed to get himself in a pickle again. Connie, how do you put up with him? What a spanner. But with Connie's help, we can rescue him. This time around, I'll show you how to select and group your creations and how to scope in and out of groups. Luckily, someone left behind a block for us to use.
That's awfully kind of them.
Remember how to repeat clone blocks to create a bridge?
Yep.
Well, let's do that again.
I'm not
Move
sure.
your view side on to the block and the gap. Hold L1, then grab the block with R2. Move it with the motion sensor function to create a clone. Just like last time, let go of L1 while still holding R2, then press the directional buttons to make more clones. If you rotate the first block a little before you clone it, you can make an arch. Use L2 to make the first block angle up slightly, then make the clone angle down. Press the left directional button to repeat clone, and the clones will line up to make an arch. Amazing, right? Let's quickly test that in play mode. Looks great. Switch back to edit mode, rewind time, and go to the next step of the tutorial.
Okay, that is going a bit annoying. Right, so down. Flip, flip, flip. Oh my days, what am I doing? Well, that worked. Wow, okay. Uh-oh, gone wrong. This has gone very wrong. I fixed it! Fixed it! Less clones, less clones. Well, that works. Hey, look at that! That worked.
Now, you probably noticed that all the blocks, the original as well as its clones, were selected automatically after cloning. You can tell when things are selected because they have an animated dashed outline. But after we switched between play and edit modes, everything was deselected. So let's select them again.
Okay.
All you have to do is hover your imp over one of the blocks and press X. There's the outline again.
Yes.
Now do the same to the rest until the whole bridge is selected. Can you see how each block has its own outline, with a double line where they meet? That's because they're still individual elements. You can deselect them one at a time with X, but it's much quicker if you deselect them all at once with circle. Give it a try.
Okay.
There's also a faster way of selecting multiple objects. Just select one as before, but this time keep X held down. Now move your imp to select the others. Better than selecting one at a time, right? So much faster. The great thing about having multiple objects selected is that you can manipulate them as if they were one object. For example, if all the blocks are selected, you can clone the bridge sideways to create a double bridge. Plenty of room for Connie to cross it without falling off the edge. Try it in play mode. Once Connie is across the gap, go back to edit mode and move on to the next step.
Play mode.
You know, this bridge would be really useful to help Connie cross to the next platform. Use X to select all the blocks again. If we're going to use this bridge a lot, we can make it into a group. That way, it will behave like a single element and you won't have to keep selecting all the blocks.
Okay.
Have you noticed the menu at the side of the screen? It appears when you have one or more objects selected. That's the context menu. The options it gives you will depend on the situation you're in. In this case, all the buttons relate to selected objects. Look for the plus sign. That's the icon for the group button. The number next to it tells you how many objects you've selected. You can use this button now to turn all of those blocks into a group. There we go. The bridge is now a single element. You can tell because it has one outline around it instead of one around each block. And if you look over at the context menu, you'll see the group button now says ungroup. Use it if you want to break a group up. But we still need it to help Connie. So let's clone this bridge and place it between the second and third platforms. Just like before, hold L1 and grab the bridge with R2 to clone it. As always, remember to let go of L1.
I keep forgetting to let go of L1.
Ah, we don't need to test the bridge to see that it's not going to get Connie to the third platform. But don't worry, we'll fix that in the next step when you're ready to move on.
Okay, we're ready to move on now.
Our bridge needs a bit of work if it's going to reach the next platform. This is the perfect opportunity to learn a new technique, scoping in. Scoping in means you can jump into a group and edit the contents individually without having to ungroup it first. And since you can only edit things inside the group, you don't have to worry about messing up anything outside it. Let's give it a try now.
Okay.
Select the bridge with X if it isn't already selected.
Selected.
Then find the Scope In button near the bottom of the context menu. Notice that it's showing you a shortcut for it, L1 and X.
Okay.
So hover over the bridge group, hold L1 and press X. Now you're scoped in.
Wow.
We can now edit all the parts as if it wasn't a group. If you want to really focus on just the group, you can hide everything else in the scene. Just use the Hide Everything Else button in the context menu. The icon looks like a closed eye. There's also a Scope Out button in the top right corner. This is how you exit groups. Try scoping out now. Select the button with X or use the shortcut, L1 and circle. That's it. Now scope back in again so we can fix the bridge. Just hover over it, hold L1 and press X. I think what Connie needs to reach the next platform is a staircase. So use the Move and Clone tools to create a new one. Once you've built the staircase, test it out in play mode to make sure Connie can make it across. When you're happy with it, switch back to edit mode, rewind time, and move on to the final step of this tutorial.
Oopsie. Did not mean to be able to do that. I'm in sculpt mode and I don't know how to get it out. Grab cam, blah 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 blah. Okay. Oh, maybe if I go back into, well, that's play mode. I want to go back into play mode. Edit mode. Okay, I'm in edit mode. Get rid of that, and then select that. Scope in. Phew. Okay. then we go and rotate this as a whole. Okay, cool. And then clone up here, up here, up here, up here. Oh, smeg. Okay, I see what happened here. I'm not entirely sure what's going on there.
Oh my, what are you doing, Peter? What are you doing?
Oh well, that didn't work, did it? Hmm. Yeah, whatever. Let's go into play mode and just check it works still. Yeah, that worked. That's fine. Right, okay. Continue.
Is your staircase working?
Yeah, the fashion.
Fantastic. Now Connie just needs a bit more help to save poor old Cuthbert from his predicament. Luckily, you can clone your staircase group to reach the final platform. Use the clone shortcut L1 and R2 to copy the staircase group to the last platform. Don't forget to let go of L1 once the clone has been created. That's how useful groups are. If you select the group, you'll see a button in the context menu that saves the group as a new element. Saving a group as a new element means you can use it in other scenes or share it in the Dreamiverse. You can't do that in tutorials, but you can everywhere else. Now that you've mastered selecting and grouping, I'll leave you with a thought to ponder. You can also make a group inside a group. With that, I'll let you experiment. Once you're happy that you've mastered selecting, grouping and scoping, you have just one thing left to do. Go into play mode and take
And rescue Connie.
Connie and Cuthbert to the exit.
And we are on the way. With my strange dual stairs. we're sorted. Yeah. Imquest, dreaming big. Yay! Logic tutorials, gameplay tutorials, animation tutorials, audio tutorials, art tutorials, character creation, Dreams Masterclass. Night. Okay, so there's a lot of tutorials here. Are you new to dream shaping? You start dreaming. Tutorials are your entry point. Creating here will get to know the basics of edit mode, navigation scene, and assembly tools. I think I just want to play some
Now
stuff.
to explore the wider world of dream shaping.
Let's just see what else is out there, shall we? Dream surfing. Oh, I've leveled up. I'm level 3. You're still finding your way in the Dreamverse, so we can't assign you a persona yet. We should have a better idea of who you are by level 5. Let's play some auto surf. Auto surf. Get the fastest possible time. That was a fail at the beginning. that was quite clever, even though I suck. Rewind. Exit? Oh, okay. Thumbs up. Let's auto surf again. Prometheus, FPS demo. That might be over. Thumbs up. Watch out, the gap in the door is a separate reality. The only me is me. Are you sure the only is you? We'll find out in a second. Disarm it. It's curiosity. Wow, okay. That's deep. Hammer pan. Yep, hit objects of your opponent's colored light balls to score points. Objects into your opponent's back balls to score. Make your opponent pull off these. Oh no! Final result. I won.
Gun store 2 days earlier. This brutal killing took place while the family was gathered at home on a Sunday afternoon. The day of the crime, the father went to the trunk of his car.
We're gonna skip this one. Thumbs up all. Mario Dreams. Do, 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 do. Let's not get a copyright strike. Vector Matrix, Galactic Adventures. Okay then. Visuals inspired by Dark Souls. It's like a... It was a bit like one of those benchmarks. Aha, here we go. Look, this way to grab hold of things. Oh Jesus. We are losing control! turn the microphone up a bit. Hopefully. Okay. Pull the cable out of the thing. So take off this way. Oh, okay, this actually feels quite good. Enemy is locked on. That's a croc! Ah. Oh dear. Okay, well, fine. That's good, but I just suck at it. Threat star. Oh!
Oi, you! What you looking at? What's up, do ya? Have some of that. Bish, bash, boss. What you looking at? Have some of that. Oi, you! What you looking at? What's up, do ya? Have some of that. Bish, bash, boss. What you looking at? Have some of that.
A life gave lemons game. Your slave. Take contracts called scrolls to slay men or beasts in exchange for gold captured. Quaint stone town. Especially adapted by the best gold. is an early visual concept created on Dreams. Wow, okay. Real-time footage running on the bubble bath engine. Wow. Okay. Various Scrolls, Scene 1, Dwarf Inn. Dog. Welcome to the Dwarf Inn's there. Do you have a scroll for me? Always do, but before we get started, you should know. There's an assassin here for you. That one, hard to miss. The lad, room's there, no weapons in mine. Keep it quiet. Bar fight is not good for business. Okay then. Deadly. Oh, okay, yeah, there we go. Quick work, Slayer. This scroll comes from the Lord of Frostburn and dragon plagues north of the mountains. The Lord's knights have burned alive by his fiery breath. Slay the dragon, bring the dragons to you, clear the gold. Accept the gold. Accept the gold, accept the thing. The Dwarf Inn. Okay. That was up, left and up. That's what I was doing wrong. I was doing left and right. Gambit, you're in! Get my cable. One last try of that one. Okay, next one. Cookie fire resistant. Work in progress. This is very green. Okay. Yeah, that's a bit too green for my liking. I mean, honestly, green is fine, but a little bit too. Ah, Slayer Scroll Scene 2, Stonewall Town. Okay, that's cool. Thumbs up. Thumbs up. Oh yeah, that was a good one, that one. Oh no, I don't want to do that. I do want to do that though. What's this do? Follow creation. See, I know my kids will like that one. Okay, that'll do. Oh, I've leveled up. What am I for? You are still finding your way in the Dreamverse, so we can't assign you a persona yet. We should have a better idea of who you are by level 5. Okay. Shall we go and try and make something? Start afresh. Let's see what we can do with music. Music timeline. Okay. Let's see. Search. Search instruments. Let's start with a drum kit. Okay, nothing's happening. Anyway, I'm thinking maybe. Let's not save that. Okay. Let's see what's going on in here.
In a moment, you'll be creating and editing your own scenes in edit mode. Scenes are like levels in a game, or scenes in a movie. They're made up of elements. Elements are like props, sets, music, effects, and characters. Anything that you can build inside a scene and save to the Dreamverse. Scenes are connected together to form dreams. And these dreams can be found when you go dream surfing.
Hey, and I'm back again. Right, where did I put my controller? Oh, over there. That's not good, is it? So look at the music scenes. Music clips. Loops melodic. I was hoping I was going to be able to see how they did it. Remix. Oh, hang on a second. Open sound. Oh, hello. Oh. Okay, then I get this. I think. Exit creators. Don't save. Back, 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 back. Back, back, back. Dream shaping. My creation. Start afresh. Music. '80s teen pad. What the hell's that? Okay, I see. Instruments. Into brass, percussion. Drum kits. Drum kits is what we want. Okay, let's see. So. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing.